it's Jen VAUTHRIN here from Solutions Counseling. I am here today with a fantastic woman in my life who is my mentor and coach, Ms. Karen Shumka.
I am really excited to be joining you tonight and to be having important conversations.
Yes.
So this important conversation that we want to have about nutrition and the brain, how did that start for you?
Well, it started for me when I was 13 and I developed anxiety, and it's been a real hell ride, like really a hell ride. And then watching my mom with bipolarism, and it's really watching her go through 8 different medications and being a guinea pig for doctors, not putting doctors down, but they're just not geared enough. They're not trained enough to understand about nutrition and how nutrition helps us.
Yeah, and I remember you were telling me about Tyson and his brain injury and how many medications he was on, and really when you and I started to have the conversation around how food can really be our best medicine.
Totally.
It was Hippocrates that said, let food be our medicine and medicine be our food.
Completely.
And so the conversations that we had around Tyson and moving him from where the medical system had got him and then nutrition into wellness.
Completely.
And your whole business being around mental health now and stability of the brain and tying that into your favorite product, fish oils. And the reason is our brains are 80% fat. And the way that your nervous system connects from head to toe, really good oils will facilitate that. And the electrical system runs every system in the body, and especially the brain. So being able to get good fish oils is a really, really big deal. And I know you tried a lot of other ones.
Oh my God, did I ever? I have to tell you about this. I really did. I tried everything. I originally started with these and went, I can find better. So I went out and I went to every health food store, I'm sure, and naturopath and everything. And a year later found out that I was really, really sick and I couldn't understand why I was so sick. So a year after that, they found out that I was filled with heavy metals. And I don't know if you guys heard the whole situation going on with the fish that came up that were filled with antidepressants in them. That's not the only thing they're filled with. So then I went back to Usana, and I will let Karen explain.
So here's the deal. The governments, both in the US and in Canada, will tell you that you can have a safe amount of mercury in your fish. Mm-hmm. There is no such thing as a safe amount of mercury in your fish. You have to know what the product is and where you can get it and what you can trust. And Jen's other favorite product,
vitamin D. No, it truly is vitamin D.
And here's the thing about vitamin D. It's not actually a vitamin. It's actually a hormone, and so many of us are depleted. The majority of us are depleted in vitamin D. Anybody north of Florida needs to be grabbing vitamin D, and many people are at this time of the year. If you're dealing with anxiety or depression, we start with a minimum of 5,000 IUs, and the Canadian government says maybe 1,000 or 2,000 at the most. It's like, do not trust their recommendations because it's based on the RDA. So the RDA is the recommended daily allowance that's meant to keep you from dying of rickets, scurvy, and pellagra. Doing a very, very good job of that. Depression, anxiety, all of those things, not so much. So our very best recommendation, vitamin D, play with it.
And vitamin D is so inexpensive. Mm-hmm. And there's so many people out there that I work with personally all around the world that have gone through so much. Like even let's get to miscarriages and things like that, Karen, where our hormones are all over the place and all it takes is a simple bottle of vitamin D. That's a start, you guys.
And we can't make any health claims, but what we can do is create super big invitations for you to go and play with it, because there really are no toxicities at the levels that we're talking about, only great health benefits.
And then we also like to tie it into probiotics. Probiotics are so important. Karen, can you share a little bit about that with me?
There's so many books out there really on the cutting edge of wellness where we're tying the gut directly to the brain, directly to the brain. So all the nutrition, the bacteria, the good bacteria, the bad bacteria, everything that's going on in your gut is tied to your brain. Wheat Belly is one of the cutting edge books out there. Huge. So when we're talking about mental health and wellness, we want to know, are you eating well? Are you eating regularly? Are you keeping your blood sugar even? And then when it comes to probiotics, these will actually make it through all of the acids in your stomach. And then when it gets to your small intestine, will colonize. and tip your immune system in some pretty powerful ways. And your immune system and mental health
tie together so well. And it also, with the probiotics, I just want to point out that this has a lot to do with autistic, ADHD, ADD, anything along those lines. Everything starts in the gut. Autoimmune, everything. So you really want to check out this and tell us why. Like, why Usana? Why? Tell me why. Why did I even look at this? What?
Well, it is actually an interesting story how I tripped across all of this and started to do my own research.
Yeah.
But what I learned was that all vitamins are made to the same standard as pizza. And you and I could have the same frozen pizza, and you might have some more pepperonis, I might have a thicker crust. But the government doesn't really care as long as it lands into a range. So if we tipped the boxes over, we'd have the same nutrition facts on both of the boxes. So that's the food side. And Usana is the very first company to be made as if it were a drug. We don't make any drugs. It's all just food, but 100% of what's on the label is guaranteed to be in the product, to the point where we are the only company that will offer an athlete a $1 million guarantee that our products are clean, that there are no banned substances that are going to mess with your brain,
so important,
any of your cells or your gut. So clean, clean, clean. Do not go to the health food store and just buy something willy-nilly. You have to know what you're putting into your body because it's going to affect your brain.
And Karen, didn't you bring a book with you?
I did.
I live by this book. I love this book.
It's just a comparative guide to nutritional supplements. So it's like a consumer report. If you and I are going to go buy a car, we're going to get as much background evidence as we possibly can. And what we love about this is that they compare all the vitamins, multivitamins that you can get. They compare them 18 different ways. Do they even dissolve? Most of them don't. Will they cross the blood-brain barrier? Will they drive the calcium into your bones, etc., etc.? And we love it because in every edition we come out on top, which is kind of fun. So you can look up your GNC or your Kirkland one a day or women's
Jameson,
and they're rated. They're rated out of 5 stars. So assuming that you want to stay in a 5-star hotel and not a 0-star hotel, don't buy your health at Costco is all I'm going to tell you.
So, and speaking about mental health, Karen, what is the best recipe for mental health?
That is a really good question.
Thanks. Sometimes I have them.
The most important recipe for mental health, I think, is to have a good community around you. It takes a village.
Completely.
And to never, ever be alone in any of your thinking about health, to find resources that you trust, which is what you do for a living.
Yeah.
So I'm in awe of what you do.
Thank you.
And then it's food. Really finding food you love, making it yourself, buying organic if you possibly can, finding recipes, again, resources, finding recipes that you love and passing them along through Facebook and through your friends, because all nutrition starts with the macronutrients. And if you need help with that, grabbing shakes, we have phenomenal shakes.
Yes. No, I actually carry my shakes with me and my extra protein. And I'll tell you why, because I am on the go so much, going to different clients all the time, that I don't have time to eat half the time. So I get this little shaker bottle and I put this in and I put that in, and really I add water to it, or you can stop and get a coconut water or whatever you want to put it in, and it takes all of 2 seconds. Almond milk,
What's
whatever.
really cool is that you can choose your base. So you can choose whether you love soy, whey, or plant, and then you can add your own flavors if you're at home, or we have some flavors that are really healthy for you. You can add extra protein if you're wanting post-workouts and things like that. So totally customizable, as is pretty much everything in Usana. But the food is the most important thing. So eat well, and then you have to supplement. Not because of what you're eating, it's what your food is eating. Mm-hmm. So think of that. It's not what you're eating that's the problem. It's what your food is eating. And your food is eating depleted soil. You have to close that gap. And in BC, 8 out of 10 of us are buying vitamins. We just don't have enough information in terms of how to pick a good one. So food first, and then your supplements.
Well, and in saying that, when you talk about food, if you notice, a lot of us will possibly have time for breakfast. Maybe we have time for lunch, but the majority of us are going with coffee, tea, grabbing whatever there is, McDonald's, wherever.
And here's what happens. Your blood sugar crashes, spikes, crashes, spikes, crashes. And that is a recipe for
anxiety,
Disaster.
depression, anger, all those things. And it really does have to do with what you're eating. So Karen, we talked a little bit about the gut, but can you expand a little bit more on how that affects our mental health and our well-being, and how sometimes we can't even get supplements into people until we heal the gut? Like, why is that?
It's really interesting. I've been taking these products and promoting these products for about 18 years, and more now I'm finding people who cannot digest food properly to begin with. And if you can't digest your food, don't bother taking vitamins. We have to heal the gut first. And we do that through probiotic, we do that through digestive enzymes, we do that through really good food, our good food.
My happy digestive enzymes, which I live with. Yes.
And simple things, free things like not drinking water with your meal so that you don't dilute the acids. And we want to really draw a strong link between mental health here. How does mental health land in your gut? Well, if you don't have the nutrition, go out to your garden. If you don't feed it, look at what the plants do. And if you don't have that nutrition, you're not going to have the energy to make good choices. If you don't have the nutrition, you're not going to have the energy to go for a walk or have that extra conversation, speak your truth, get the help.
Go to yoga.
Yeah.
Go to meditation, Pilates, whatever.
And I know one of the big deals for you is your relationship with Dr. Oz. And Dr. Oz is a very strong partner with Usana. We are on his show at least once a month with these products. Yeah, no matter what your personal experience of Dr. Oz is, people go to his website at least 3.5 minutes longer for health information than anywhere else. And Dr. Oz will tell you the number one health tip: sleep. You must sleep. And if you don't sleep well, that's going to affect your mental health. That's going to affect your ability to digest your food. And so we have a product called Pure Rest that is the best, cleanest melatonin that you can get, that keeps you in that REM sleep longer. The other thing that is so important that he preaches and Dr. Wentz preaches, you have to take your vitamins twice a day. This whole idea of one a day, such good marketing. And Dr. Wentz says you can take your vitamins once a day when you can eat once a day.
Exactly.
So the reason you have to take vitamins at night, and this is so critical for mental health, is that's when your body can repair and recover. That's when your brain can restore, is when you're actually sleeping. And so many of us go to bed depleted, and there's not enough there to really heal. Does that make sense?
Oh, completely. And it's funny that you bring that up, because I'm an expert at taking my vitamins once a day, and I take them in the morning. And the funny thing is that I find that, sleep is everything, but if you're not repairing at night, you're getting up doing the same old pattern. And I was just saying, what's the definition of insanity? Doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. Well, it doesn't happen that way.
Jen, one of the things that has inspired me the most in getting to know your boys, and especially Tyson and his brain injury, first of all, what an incredible mom you've been to lead him towards healing and to navigate the medical profession the way you did. Yeah, I know that was...
It's hard. It is really hard.
And what I have personally witnessed in the short amount of time that I've known Tyson is just taking a good multivitamin morning and night allowed his body to let go of fat. It evened out his blood sugar in so many ways that he didn't have to diet. He just brought in some extra nutrition in the forms of food that he could make simply, because he's how old? He's not going to go cook himself a meal. And I just watched his body get healthier and healthier and healthier, and so did his brain, to the point where it was measurable, where he'd be in my home with so many people and he could just carry on a conversation and not be overwhelmed. And it was like, wow. And it's just nutrition. So let's give a big shout out to all of your Oxygen Yoga buddies, because I know they're huge for your mental health.
They are.
And as huge yoga fans, what we want to make sure you know is that Usana has a whole new layer of science that is about mitochondrial renewal. So if you think back to biology, there's a mitochondria, that's the furnace in the cell. As we age, it gets a little leaky and not working so well. The body naturally renews it. What we can do now in Usana, through this whole layer of science called intelligence, tag it, renew it, tag it, renew it. Instantly. It's so incredible. And what you'll notice is way better energy and compressed time to wellness. So you really want to tap into this intelligence and take it into your studio, take it to your track, take it to your court, put it to the test.
So, Karen, I just want to say thank you so much for coming tonight and shedding this light on so many people's lives, because I know this is going to empower so many of you by connecting with Karen, with myself, getting so much knowledge out of this, contacting us. Thank you so much for being a part of our lives, my life, my children's lives, and so many others. You are an incredible coach and an incredible mentor. Thank you so much for being here.
My pleasure.